Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's hunt now! Let's hunt now! Let's go! Let's hunt! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this trying to be the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. He can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's more I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We ready? I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! It's a wrap. Game over.
No, this game is just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We're streaming live on kyokradio.org, also on Facebook and Twitter at LunchBreakKYOK, at LunchBreakKYOK, or you can check us out on YouTube, The Lunch Break with AJ Jones. It's our Winning Wednesday. I've got a good friend. I just bumped into her out at training camp for the Texans. Kim Y. Davis, Chalk Talk Sports, going to be joining us in the second hour. She'll be joining us in the 1 o'clock Central hour, and looking forward to having her join. Right before I came on, got breaking news that the NCAA is still, it's useless. The NCAA is a useless, inept organization. They have no more value whatsoever. I mean, even in the little stuff. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. A report by Ben Kercheval says that the NCAA Committee on Infractions could not conclude that Baylor University violated NCAA rules when it failed to report allegations of sexual and interpersonal violence on its campus. What? Let me read it slow, and anyone with half a brain can catch this. The NCAA's Committee on Infraction could not conclude that Baylor violated NCAA rules when Baylor failed to report allegations of sexual and interpersonal violence on its campus. Here are the rules. Baylor failed to report sexual and interpersonal, say it slow, violence on its campus, and the committee couldn't say, okay, Baylor didn't do it. These are the rules that they have to do it. We can't conclude that they broke the rules. You're inept. You're useless. You have no value, especially when it comes to protecting women, students, people that need to be protected. It's just absolutely useless. Mark Emmert is useless. He is the president of the organization. He is the face of the organization. And if you can't get that simple thing right, here are the rules. Here's what happened. We conclude they broke the rule. Not even talking about punishment, but just being able to conclude that not reporting sexual and interpersonal violence is bad and breaks our rules. You can't conclude that. You can't do anything. You can't do anything. The NCAA can find violations against Prairie View. The NCAA can find violations against Jackson State. The NCAA could find violations against FAMU. But they can't determine that a school that failed to report sexual and interpersonal violence on its campus, whether they broke any rules or not, it gets worse. However, I'm on the report again by Ben Kercheval and Dennis Dodd, both of CBS Sports. However, during its investigation, the NCAA found other impermissible benefits and recruiting violations that occurred between 2011 and 2016, for which it has decided to penalize the Bears. So they are going to penalize the Bears by, stay with me, imposing a 4-year ban or 4-year probation and a $5,000 fine, a reduction to 30 football official visits during 2021 and 2022, a 3-week ban on unofficial visits in football during 2021, 2022, a 2-week ban on football recruiting communication during 2021, 2022, a reduction of football evaluation days by 3 days, a 5-year show cause order for the former assistant director of football operations, and a vacation of all records in which student athletes competed while ineligible. So you're sexually assaulting people, you're raping people, people are being approached by members of the football team saying, hey, don't report this. We can't find any violations on that. But yeah, they had too many phone calls to recruits and they had too many visits. That's what the NCAA went horse on. Rape, recruiting, horrible. Horrible. The NCAA is inept. The NCAA is impotent. The NCAA cannot do a job that needs to be done right now. And all people want to talk about is name, image, and likeness. Name, image, and likeness, and expanding the college football playoffs. That's all folks want to talk about. Don't want to talk about Larry Nassar. Don't want to talk about Mark Emmert and the disparity between men and women's sports, all of which are under his responsibility. Don't want to talk about that. All they want to talk about, name, image, and likeness. Gonna ruin the sport. Gonna ruin the sport. Gonna ruin the sport. Transfer portal. I forgot about that. Oh, the transfer portal's bad for college sports. Can't keep control over the players like we want. Student athletes get raped, and no big deal. Can't find any broken rules there. I'll be back. I need a break.
I am Jacqueline Carr, and here is your winning strategy. We should be causing a good vibration on this earth. Repeat this wherever you are. Just repeat this. Words that have been placed over my life to bring on healing, deliverance, success, and wholeness be activated in my life. Today, you've got to receive that word that brings you life, brings you good health, wealth, peace, new ideas, businesses, revelation beyond your abilities, and the authority to operate throughout the kingdom of God so that you can speak to situations and mountains and cause them to move. I won't sit back and let the word of God be idle over my life. That's what you got to declare every day. I refuse to sit back and let the word of God be idle over my life.
What's up? This is Riley. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Chicken Club sandwich is the Applewood bacon. It's savory and then it's also kind of sweet. And I think the combination of bacon with chicken and Colby Jack cheese, it just really knocks it out of the park.
Hey, I'm Tanea. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Chicken Club sandwich is the chicken. It's so juicy. It's grilled to perfection. I'm gonna devour this sandwich.
Order the Grilled Chicken Club sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Want to hear some inside scoop? If your kids are as ready to go back to school as mine are, you gotta check out Kohl's. I got my daughters the cutest sew tops for under $18, JanSport backpacks for 25% off, and 30% off Levi's jeans for me. I even saved an extra 15% and picked up Kohl's cash. So, yeah, not sure who's more excited right now, me or the girls. Select styles, 50% off ends August 15th. Levi's coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. See store Kohl's.com for details.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110. Guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exams required to qualify.
800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. That's 800-298-0139.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
Give people what they want.
The legendary KYOK, 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
This is Jasmine Ortiz from Baytown, and you're listening to The Lunch Break.
Thank you, Jasmine. Right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It's our winning Wednesday, and I'm sorry, the NCAA is just not winning. I don't understand. I just don't understand. What does it take to be able to determine something as blatant, as egregious, and in some ways simple as this is not the kind of behavior that we want our member institutions to to exercise in cases like this? How hard is that? If you can't send a message on that, that's not the kind of behavior we want. Baylor or any other school, the next time this is going on and it involves student athletes, we want to know about it right away. If for no other reason, then give us a heads up. If that's too hard for you, you don't need to be governing over all of the member institutions of college sports and athletics. You don't. That's the tell me you don't know what you're doing without telling me you don't know what you're doing. And God forbid if politics were involved. And knowing Baylor and the folks that have run through there, Ken Starr, the folks that have run through there, Art Briles, the folks that have run through there, every good old boy from the Texans, the state of Texas's government. If politics are involved, then yeah, the NCAA is too compromised and does not need to remain solvent. It needs to be dissolved. It needs to be done away with. Something more modern, more responsible, accountable needs to be put in place. I feel bad for those young ladies at Baylor. I feel bad for them. They got no justice today. I feel bad for any student athlete that was involved that did not get justice, because they're going to be, guys, players, and former players involved that didn't do anything wrong, but because of the way the NCAA handed down this inept ruling, you got away with rape. You got away with sexual assault. Oh, but AJ, Deshaun Watson, we ain't talking about that right now. Stop with the Me Too-ism. What about isms? Baylor is I know. Those folks are gone. New set of kids there, all of that. But when stuff like this happens, man, I was at Tulane University when they shut the basketball program all down because of point shaming. President Eamon Kelly, former president of Tulane University, shut it all down. He didn't need the NCAA to tell him what to do. He didn't need Congress people, former, you name it. He didn't need them telling him what to do. It was wrong. It was foul. When they got to the bottom of it, he shut it all down. It wasn't an SMU kind of deal where the NCAA shut them all down. It was Dr. Eamon Kelly. This is not the kind of behavior we want associated with Tulane University, and he shut it all down. But now the money is so big, the ripple effect is so big that literally if rape and sexual assault can't get a program put on probation for several years and those involved kicked out of college athletics forever, or at least a long-term period of time, if that can't get it done, and the NCAA doesn't have rules for that, then the NCAA doesn't need to be the governing body over anything. I know, I'm ranting. I know. 281-453-1000. 281-453-1000 if you want in on Winning Wednesday. We talk about other stuff. If you want to talk about your team or your school or player or whatever, Dennis Schroeder is not winning. Dennis Schroeder is not winning. Bruh. What did he miss out on? $84 million, somewhere around there. And he's just under $6 million on a one-year deal with Boston. And he's going to be the backup to Marcus Smart. Went from being the starting point guard with LeBron and AD, and now you're the backup to Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. Wow. I mean, I ain't talking the man's money. I'm not talking his money. It's not my job to talk his money, but bruh. I need a new agent stuff. That's hey, it's not your fault, but you know you're fired, right? That certainly didn't go the way we thought it would. That's how bad that was. 281-453-1000 if you want in. 281-453-1000. Again, got a chance to go out to Texans training camp today. Not as intense as it's been over the last couple of weeks. They're getting ready to go to Green Bay to take on the Packers. We'll talk about that when we come back on the lunch break.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-219-8332. 800-219-8332. 800-219-8332. That's 800-219-8332.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. That's 800-958-2156.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire, located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show right here on the legendary KYOK Radio 1140 AM and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
This is G Solo with Houston Energy, dropping in the KYOK lunch break.
Thank you, G Solo. Appreciate you as always. She is a legit football player for the Houston Energy, man, and I love her. I love her friendship and love to watch her play. All right, let me get back to this. Chris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, been sending me some updates to this NCAA lack of finding in Baylor University violating any rules and refusing to report even accurately the sexual assault and interpersonal violence that took place on its campus during the era of Art Briles. And according to Max Olson, the Committee on Infractions on Art Briles said and I quote, incurious attitude towards potential criminal conduct by his players was deeply troubling. However, it failed to meet even the most basic expectations of how a person should react to the kind of conduct at issue in this case, but it's not technically an NCAA violation. Wow. Wow. Wait. Like, your behavior was horrible, but it's not technically a violation of our rules. In other words, our rules allow horrible behavior. I can't. And then, of course, it leads to this. It leads to this piece of craziness. Darby Brown released a statement from the attorney of Art Briles, Scott Thompson. My client, Art Briles, has been completely exonerated and cleared of all NCAA violations alleged against him. As the NCAA Committee on Infractions explained, the conduct at issue was pervasive and widespread throughout the Baylor campus, and it was condoned or ignored by the highest levels of Baylor's leadership. The NCAA's decision today clears the way for Mr. Briles to return to coaching college football. Whoever hires Art Briles is trash. Whoever hires Art Briles as a college football coach is trash. I already know the high school that has him hired is trash. They didn't care. They had a closed door midnight meeting to install Art Briles as their new high school head coach. But there'll be a college out there. There'll be some athletic director that will swear the best thing for the program and the best things for the kids is Art Briles. And he'll be hired. But let me just put my 2 cents out there. Trash. The fact that this attorney could literally just say that, oh, Art Briles was completely exonerated because all the bad behavior, the rape and the covering up of the rape and not the reporting of the rape, it was at the highest level. So Art didn't do anything wrong. He was just doing what everybody else was doing. Any parent out there, remember, can attest to these words. I don't care what your friends do. You just make sure you do the right thing. I'm not raising your friends. But apparently that's a different conversation for the Art Brileses of the world. I'm going to get off of this, but just let that sink in. Baylor got put on probation for too many phone calls, text messages, and visits to recruits, not for the multiple cases that went unreported of sexual assault, violence, and things like that against young ladies on the campus of Baylor. They didn't get in trouble for that. They got in trouble for making too many phone calls, sending too many messages, and visiting recruits too much. Let that sink in. That's the NCAA. That's their standard. Rape and everything, too many phone calls, too many visits, too much recruiting, can't have that. $5,000 fine, 5-year probation, 4-year probation. Training camp, Texans. Deshaun was out there. He worked out with the other quarterbacks. I mean, nothing major. They make no extra effort or energy around him. The players run through the drills. Nobody's out there like, why is he here? Or nobody's out there extra high-fiving him, or nobody's making any statements or anything like that. He's just another player out there running through the drills. Texans are getting ready to head up to Wisconsin to take on the Packers Saturday at 7. They will not hold training camp on Friday, which leads me to believe that'll be the travel day. They play Saturday at 7. Got to get into Wisconsin early, get in the spot and chill out. I know Wisconsin is known for cheese, but what else? I know they got brats and Mets. I know some people just, oh, that's just sausage. That's a brat. It's different. A Met, it's different. Look it up. Got to put some, different stuff on it up there. James Coney Island used to have the different hot dogs from, the different areas. I think Chicago, don't they have sauerkraut? And they have sauerkraut, and it seems like they've got onions. And some area even puts mashed potatoes on their dogs. So, yeah, you can't just run up to Wisconsin and say, yeah, that's a sausage. Now, it's a Met, it's a brat. Some of them pretty good, too. I like the whole sauerkraut, onion, mustard. I know this is going to sound weird. I'm not really big on ketchup on, I'm not talking about hot dogs. I'm not real big on ketchup on Mets and brats and sausage links and stuff like that. Earl Campbell's sausage links are pretty good. I know Bum Phillips has them too, but if I have to compare the two between Earl and Bum, I'm going Earl Campbell all day. Especially the hot, spicy ones. The redder the sausage, the more spicy it is. I digress. It's the lunch break, so we gotta talk some food on the show. But anyway, Kim Davis is going to be on in the second hour, so we'll kind of break down some of the players. I asked her opinion on the Texans' number one pick in this year's draft, Davis Mills. They got him in the 3rd round. I asked her what she thought of him. I've got my own observations, some of which I've already shared, but I want to wait till she gets on to share that. I also mentioned that David Johnson seems to have quick feet. Lindsey is someone, the running back that they got from Denver. I want to see what she thinks of him. And again, the wide receiver that they got from Chicago, I like him. But we'll talk about that. Are y'all watching Hard Knocks? Are y'all watching the HBO camp special Hard Knocks? I haven't watched it in a long time. But apparently Dak Prescott was very colorful and animated about them sitting him out of practice. Like Dak is like, man, I missed all of it last year. I couldn't practice then. I'll let you know when I'm sore or when I've hurt something. And he used some colorful, animated language. Dak was like, yo, I ain't about this sitting out of these reps. And a lot of folks attest that to the amount of money that Dak is making this year. Dak Prescott's making $75 million this season. $75 million this season. And I guess by the way, that's winning, Dennis Schroeder. Dak Prescott is winning with his contract. But anyway, I digress. I guess my question is this. Is it that Dak wants to play because of all the money he's making? Or is Dak wanting to play because Dak loves playing and he didn't get a chance to play most of last season because of the injury? Like, I feel like sometimes we in this business will make a guy seem like he's more money focused than he is, I love to play. I'm not saying he wants to run out there and play for free. But let's remember, Dak banked on himself. Dak didn't sign any deals that were not where Dak wanted them to be. Everybody's like, oh, he should have took the 4-year, $130 million deal. He should take the 5-year, blah, 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 $1 million deal. Dak was like, nah, that ain't it. I'll know it when I hear it, and those aren't it. Well, we're not going to be able to get it done before the deadline to get it done. All right, so let's go on the franchise tag. And everybody's like, oh, that was a big mistake. And then when he got hurt, oh, see, he should have took the money. But Dak ended up getting the money, even while he was hurt. And again, don't get it twisted. I'm not pie in the sky. Oh, Dak just loves to play so much. He just wants to play. It's, to me now, I feel like it's not all about the money. Keith Hennig, I think you're joking, but I think you're right. Keith Hennig said Dak loves his money. Why I say I think he's joking, he's being facetious, but I think he's right is because not only did Dak get the money, but Dak loves to play. Dak loves being the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and he takes that so serious that it's more about, you know, playing and proving himself as a player and believing that all the money stuff will take care of itself. I literally think it hurt Dak to not be able to be out there and play, especially seeing the way the season went. Especially seeing the way the season went. I don't think Dak wanted Andy Dalton to not be successful. Dak Prescott, since the day he got drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, he was a Dallas Cowboy. So if he couldn't be successful, he wanted the team to be successful. I mean, Dak didn't hit Tony Romo in the knee with a steel pipe, Nancy Kerrigan. Dak didn't jump Kellen Moore in an alley. Both those guys got hurt. Dak got thrown into the starting lineup and excelled, him and Ezekiel Elliott in their first year. Dak loves playing the game. And oh yeah, he got his money. He knew what he was worth. He knew better what he was worth than us in the media and many people as fans. Many of us, if we were Dak, we would be making a lot less than what he's making today. Even, especially after having gotten hurt. We'll be like, oh yeah, I'm coming off of an injury. Just give me some money. What is it? What's the number? Oh, 10 million? All right, I'll take it. That's what most of us would have done. Dak was like, nah, that ain't it. I'm not hearing it yet. What else you got? Well, we'll give you $75 million in 1 year, and we'll give you all this other money in these other. Yeah, you're sounding about right now. Let's get it. Let's sign that. Where's that at? But I don't think Dak wants to get reps and play and was as animated on Hard Knocks just because of the money. Like, people are saying, oh, well, Dak wants to prove he's worth all that money. I don't know if that's true. I think Dak wants to prove that they can win a Super Bowl. I think Dak saw what won the NFC East last season and realized the Cowboys could have and should have won it. I think Dak looks at the Dallas Cowboy roster and feel like we got the best roster in the division. I want to play. I need to get used to these guys again. I need to get used to Gallup. I need to get used to CeeDee Lamb. I need to get used to Amari again. I need to get used to Elliott and Pollard. What's the big tight end? I need to get used to him. Dak, I need to get used to this new line. I need to see how they move it. And the only way to get that is through reps. It's like there's so much more to Dak than just the money. I'll give you a couple of other guys where that's the truth. Aaron Rodgers wasn't only about the money. Everybody tried to make it about the money and Jordan Love and all this other stuff. Aaron was about, listen, I can ball. I got a play away from a Super Bowl. I know I can ball. But can you respect me a little bit? Can I get a little bit of respect around here? Russell Wilson, same thing. I can ball. I got a ton of money, but there's more to me than just money and my ability to ball. I'm going to ball, but I want a little bit of respect. I want a little bit of input when you're, making all these decisions that are going to affect my ability to ball. Like everybody tried to tie it to money. And it's not just about money. These guys love playing this game. And they know that they can be successful at it. But give them some input. Give them some ability to affect what happens. Very few, if any, owners in the NFL today have played the game on a championship level. Aaron Rodgers has, Russell Wilson has. Dak has not yet, but Dak believes he can. Got to take a break. 281-453-1000 or text me 832-403-5005. Is Dak wanting to play so that he can prove he's worth all of the money, or is Dak wanting to play partly because Dak just loves to play and wants to be able to compete? We'll be right back right after this.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Do you have high blood pressure or diabetes? Are you over the age of 65 and covered by Medicare? Then pay close attention to this message. Medicare has introduced some new benefits to help consumers during these cautious COVID-19 times. They realize many of you don't want to leave your home to visit a doctor. So now you can get a remote patient monitoring device shipped to your home at little or no cost to you. Now your doctor can identify your problems in real time, which could potentially save your life. Victory Medical can easily ship this monitoring device directly to your home at little or no cost to you. If you have high blood pressure or diabetes and you're covered by Medicare, make this free call right now to see if you qualify for a new remote patient monitoring device. Call now.
800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527.
Do you have a home that you don't want anymore? We can buy it from you within 24 hours, any home, size, or condition. For over 20 years, we've been buying homes for cash and helping homeowners sell their homes immediately, with no listings or strangers walking through your home. Are you moving? Did you lose your job? Going through a divorce? Whatever the reason, if you're in a bind and you know that you need to sell your house fast, call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. We'll make you a serious cash offer to buy your home in 24 hours and let you walk away from it. No listing, no waiting. Sell any home, any size, any condition now. Call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. Make this free call now.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. That's 800-306-1760. If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
Hey, y'all, this is Dre Tate, Mr. One More Again, and you're listening to The Lunch Break with AJ on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3. Yeah!
Thank you, Dre Tate. Big shout out to you and the wife, Bishop Becca. Hope everything's going well with y'all. Man, all eyes on me. Let me go to the text line. Let's see. Rose Williams. How you doing, Rose? Rose said, Mr. AJ, partners should boycott Baylor University. I would not send my child there and get a petition going so no one else goes there. I mean, seriously, I know it's not fair to the young people that are there. They weren't there when this took place under Art Briles, 2011 to 2016. But you cannot let it go unaddressed. And if the whole doggone NCAA can't get it right, then other people need to do something. You gonna let Art Briles run around here like he is not guilty of some stuff? Baby, listen, just because the NCAA can't get it right doesn't mean that people should be dumb and act like it didn't happen. No, man. I'm sorry. Art Briles should not be over anything to do with anybody's children. Nothing. I'm sorry. Listen, Me Too movement and allies of the Me Too movement, y'all ought to be up in arms right now. This is as egregious as it gets. We don't see any violation in not reporting sexual violence and interpersonal violence. We don't see any rules broken there. Oh, but they made too many phone calls and they visited with recruits too many times, and for that we're gonna make them show cause for 5 years. We know that they didn't report violence and sexual assault, but we can't find if that broke any of our rules. You need to change your rules then. If you don't see a clear violation of your rules by that kind of behavior, then you need to change your rules. And if the NCAA can't do that, then baby boy, baby girl, you can't be in charge of anything else. No. That's like the kid that burns down the house, but I cleaned my room though. You cleaned your room. The house has burned down, but my room was clean. I made my bed. No, partner. We got bigger problems than your room and your bed. We got bigger problems than recruiting at Baylor when you got improperly reported sexual assault and interpersonal violence. Baylor, the same school that had a basketball coach that covered up a murder. Baylor. It's like you've been tripping from day one, Baylor. This ain't your first time getting off the rails. The NCAA has this phrase called lack of institutional control. If that ain't it, then stop. I wish you would put another HBCU on probation. I wish you would. I'll be out there by myself with one sign talking about NCAA, and I won't say the rest of the words. That's ridiculous. Thank you, Rose. You're absolutely right. Appreciate you tuning in. Rose, let me see something. No, not Rose. That wasn't Rose. All right. So anyway, I got a couple of text messages about Dak Prescott. Let's see. Let's see, 346-594, 346-594. AJ, I think it's both. I think Dak is feeling the pressure of getting all that money and wants to get out there and play and win. That'll prove that he was worth the money. I get what you're saying. I think my point is we're making it about him proving that he's worth the money. Dak is one of them different guys. He's not Kawhi Leonard different, but Dak is a different dude. Dak's got a whole different rhythm. And what's crazy, Josh Allen's got a different rhythm too. Everybody was like, Josh Allen, his contract, is he going to hold out? Josh was like, listen, that's going to take care of itself. Man, we were close to winning a Super Bowl. I want to get our team over that hump, and the contract going to take care of itself. And Dak, I think, is getting $75 million in 1 year. I think Josh Allen is going to get $100 million in 1 year. And then the rest of his money broken out over time. So some of these guys are, I don't know if I want to say it like this, but I'll try it. Some of these guys know that they got the right people negotiating this stuff, so they ain't worried about it. Now they just want to go out and take that next step. Buffalo finally broke through and won the AFC East. That's been New England's division forever. Buffalo finally broke through. Buffalo wants to take that next step and get to a Super Bowl. Josh Allen wasn't going to let his money get in the way of doing that. In addition to getting his money, he wants to get into a Super Bowl. See my point? I mean, I know that they are tied together, but I don't think there's more focus on the money for Dak and the Josh Allens of the world. I think it's the same thing with Lamar Jackson. I don't think Lamar is waiting to get a big contract and then going to be running around trying to prove that he was worthy of the contract. Heck, people still doubt whether or not Lamar Jackson is a legitimate NFL quarterback. Lamar Jackson is not going to be trying to prove dollars and cents to anybody. Lamar is going to be trying to get the Baltimore Ravens to a Super Bowl. That will take care of everything else. Yeah, that's it right there. Winning and being successful takes care of everything else. If Dak wins a Super Bowl right now, that justifies the contract and everything else. If Josh Allen wins a Super Bowl in Buffalo, that justifies the contract and everything else. If Lamar Jackson leads Baltimore to another Super Bowl, not saying he led them to one before, but they've won two, that justifies whatever money he's going to get and everything else. You know, you're still going to have your yeah, but people out there. Yeah, but be quiet. They won a Super Bowl, and Lamar Jackson was the starting quarterback. So, yeah, I appreciate the message. Let's see, 281-551, 281-551. AJ, I think you're right. Dak Prescott just loves to play ball. That, to him, proves people wrong. I mean, you're right. Dak was undervalued from day one, coming out of Mississippi State. But look at him now. Keith Hennig, the difference between Lamar and Dak is Lamar has a defense, Dak does not. Yeah, it's hard to believe that the Cowboys' defense will be as bad as it was under, their last defensive coordinator. They were so bad, it's like hard to be that bad again. You know what I mean? That's how bad they were. So I'm believing that the Cowboys defense is going to be good enough to get the Cowboys over the hump. That's why I say teams like Washington, Philly, the Giants, they're going to have to win more than 7 games to win the division. Dallas doesn't give up 35 points a game last year, and they win more than 7 games. They win more than 7 games. I don't know, maybe not with Andy the Red Rifle Dalton. Let me get to some birthdays. You got a birthday, get it to me, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000 if you got a birthday. Man, there's an amazing queen celebrating her birthday today, Portia Zariah. She is an amazing poet, actress, writer, producer, just an amazing woman. Portia celebrating her birthday today. Clarita Hatton, the sister of Dietrich Hatton, gospel recording artist, is the double 3 today. Happy 33rd birthday to you, sis. Hope you're having a great day. Janice Miles celebrating her birthday today. And y'all, I'm going to do him last. Terrence Stevens celebrating a birthday today with Velma Dixon, Samuel Mitchell, Brandy Baker, Sammy Relford. Happy birthday to you. Big happy heavenly birthday going out to Pastor Dr. Gusta Booker. Man, I miss him so much. Pamela Middlebrooks is celebrating her birthday with Shanika Nicole Toppins and Kayla Carter, daughter of one of my dear friends. And y'all, Mr. Hard in the Paint and Crunch Time, David Grubbs celebrating a birthday today. Brother, we love you. Happy birthday to you. I ought to call him on the air. I'm going to do it. He gonna get me, but I'm going to call him on the air. Couple of celebrity birthdays today. I'm going to see if y'all know some of these people. Y'all remember Craig Elo? Craig Elo was like the first person that got the business from Michael Jordan to win to get to the playoffs. I'll never forget Elo trying to defend Jordan and like going up, and Jordan went to a whole nother level and knocked one down in his face. Craig Elo celebrating a birthday today. Patty Mills from the San Antonio Spurs celebrating his birthday today. And then I'm just going to do the voiceover, and y'all tell me if y'all know who this is. Listen, brother, what you going to do when Hulkamania runs wild on you? All my Hulksters out there. Yeah, Terry Hulk Hogan. Terry Bollea celebrating his birthday today. Hulk Hogan was born in Augusta, Georgia. So there are your celebrity birthdays. All right, let me get the birthday man on to you.
Go shawty, it's your birthday. Ooh, it's your birthday. Go shawty, it's your birthday. Today's your day. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, happy birthday, everybody. Again, all those celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, special days. We hope that today is, Keith Hennig said, I thought that voice was Gronk. You know, Gronk and Hulk Hogan would have been a great tag team. Gronk and Hulk Hogan would have been a great tag team. All right, y'all. I got to get Sybil Wilkes on here to give us our update on coronavirus. We'll hit the top of the hour and be back with more right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Place. It would prevent local officials from being removed for part. It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. As the battle for voting rights continues on Capitol Hill, Georgia Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock is introducing his own bill to combat a GOP takeover of Georgia elections. The Preventing Election Subversion Act of 2021 puts some procedural safeguards in place. It would prevent local officials from being removed for partisan reasons and makes it a felony to harass or intimidate election workers in order to interfere with their official duties. Florida school superintendents who require masks for their students without giving them a way to opt out could have their salaries withheld. That from Governor Ron DeSantis' office Monday. Last week, the Republican governor barred local school districts from requiring students to wear masks. At least one Florida school district, Leon County, which includes the state capital of Tallahassee, will defy the governor's orders and make them mandatory when classes begin Wednesday. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
KYOK Conroe at 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's hunt now! Let's hunt now! Let's go! Let's hunt! We made it! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We made it! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! It's a wrap. Game over.
All right, that's just first hour on the books, second hour underway here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We're streaming live on KYOKradio.org. Again, it is hour number 2. Ken Y. Davis, Chalk Talk Sports, will be dropping in any second. I'm glad I sent him a message before I just called to interrupt him. David Grubb in the middle of some recording, so we'll try and reach out to him a little later and wish him happy birthday. But you know we got to love on our brother David Grubb on his special day. So it's Winning Wednesday. Ah, man. I'm trying not to let the NCAA ruin my winning today, my winning spirit. A lot of good stuff going out there. We got a lot of preseason football going on tomorrow, some games tomorrow. We got games on Friday. Cowboys going to take on Arizona Friday at 9 Central. Texans will be in their first preseason game Saturday. So, you know, there's a lot to focus on, and I don't want the NCAA to be trying to steal the shine. But, man, it doesn't get anywhere. You had I'm not going to say you had one job, but if you can't do this job, you ain't got no job. You know what I mean? If you can't do this right. Thursday night games, tomorrow you got the Washington football team taking on the Patriots, 6:30 Central. You got the Steelers and the Eagles at 6:30 Central. And then Friday, you got the Titans and Falcons, Cowboys and Cardinals, and the Bills and Lions. And then Saturday, you know, you got everybody else. Got some real good preseason stuff going on. Got some real good preseason football going on. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's up. We will definitely see what's up. Looking forward to it. Last night in preseason action, Summer League basketball, it was the number 1 pick, Cade Cunningham, versus the number 2 pick, Jalen Green. And Cade had 20 points. Jalen had 25. Oh, yeah, by the way, the Rockets got the win over Detroit, 111-91. But Jalen Green is definitely a baller and a scorer, definitely. I like what I'm seeing in the young man. I really want to know how he's going to work with Kevin Porter Jr. And then I also want to know what the Rockets are going to do with John Wall and what they're going to do with Eric Gordon. Because for me now, this is just me, turn it over to these young cats. Let's just go ahead and turn it over to these guys and let's see what we got and let's go. Let's go. But the dude that was really impressive and has been really impressive has been Alperen Sengun, the big man. In his first game, 15 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 block shots. In his second game, 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 block shots. That's what you call a rim protector. That's what you call a rim protector. So we'll see. Spurs lost to the Bulls 92-89 in Summer League basketball. Astros got a nice 5-0 win over the Colorado Rockies. Their second game is about to get started. They're going to start at 1:10 Central. So we'll be keeping you updated on what that one's looking like. But again, the Astros got a 5-0 win over Colorado. The Rangers beat Seattle 5-4 in 10 innings. The second game in that series is going to be late tonight at 9:10. So that's what we got going on. Can't forget this. If you're praying people, if you're positive energy people, if you're good thought people, whatever you do, send all that to the Burrell family. Cameron Burrell, Cam Burrell, 26 years old, NCAA track champ, broke a lot of his dad, Leroy Burrell's records at U of H, passed away at the age of 26. Young man. And please send those thoughts and prayers and condolences out to his father, his mother, his siblings, everyone who ran with him and knew him over at U of H. And even the president made a very heartfelt statement about the passing of Cameron Burrell. But please, please, please keep that family surrounded, lifted, covered, positive energy, positive prayers, thoughts, you name it. Please, man. Something about parents burying their children when they're that young, man. That's wow. I wouldn't wish that on an enemy. So that's your sports update right here on the lunch break. All right, let me see if we got any other breaking news. I'm like tempted not to read another NCAA related article, but bold projections, college football expansion is necessary. They're gonna get that wrong too. I have no faith in the NCAA or outside organizations representing the NCAA. I'll have no faith in them. Nate Burleson, former NFL wide receiver, is joining CBS this morning, not just to do sports. Really excited for him. Nate Burleson is one of my favorite broadcast journalists to watch, and he has definitely put into work. Really excited about him and that opportunity. The Colts are saying that Carson Wentz may be ready week 1. Okay. All right. Wow. I didn't see this one coming. High school basketball coaches are charged with murder in the death of a basketball player who collapsed at practice. Chris Bingle, CBS Sports writes, a grand jury has charged 2 coaches with murder and child cruelty in connection to the death of a Georgia high school basketball player, Imani Bell, 16, suffered a heat stroke while practicing outdoors in nearly 100-degree weather in 2019. According to the Associated Press, the Georgia grand jury indicted the coaches last month in connection to Bell's death. The family attorney says that this sends a signal that the DA is taking this seriously. Man. Wow. My sincere thoughts and prayers go out to that family. All the more reason why you can't have guys like Art Briles running around there, trying to coach up your kids. Remember the strength and conditioning coach up at Maryland? All of that. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, a special guest will be joining us right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example,
I'm good.
5 non-tobacco
You sound
users,
good.
$1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man
Did you see the NCAA news
I did not.
on Baylor?
No, what'd they say?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance,
There's more trash.
right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exams required to qualify.
800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. That's 800-298-0139.
Okay, just sent it.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Works Program to District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m. Got to give the people now. Give people what they want.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
This is Irma J from Internal Revamp, and you're listening to AJ on the Lunch Break.
Appreciate you, Irma J. She's got a TV show coming out. Can't wait to see that. I got to get her on the show to let her talk about that. Irma J doing big things, the CEO of Internal Revamp. And ladies and gentlemen, all the way from wherever she's hailing from these days, it is none other than the CEO, the founder, the creator of Talk Sports. She's Aggie proud. It is Kim Y. Davis. What's up, my friend? How you doing?
Hello. It was great to see you out at camp today. I like to see other people out there in the heat, so that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I had to go out there and get it. Look, my program director and station manager's like, yo, dog, get out there. Go find out what's happening.
Right. Well, you made it.
Yeah, it was good being out there. It's good seeing you live. I was getting ready to say, long time no see. Long time.
Yeah, in person, absolutely. It's true.
Yeah.
I've seen you here, but hey.
And I know you've been doing great things with Chalk Talk Sports. We'll get to that in a second. I just sent you an article about Baylor University, more importantly about the NCAA.
Right.
NCAA said that they could not find any wrongdoing between Baylor not reporting, let me say it slow, sexual and interpersonal violence, that they can't see a clear violation of their rules between Baylor not reporting sexual and interpersonal violence. And then they go on to say, but they did find impermissible benefits. So in other words, Baylor made too many phone calls to recruits, had too many visits. The recruiting was bad, but the whole sexual assault and rape thing, we couldn't find
not so much. So this has been a long time in the making, right? This particular judgment.
2011 to 2016, all this took place.
Right.
Art Briles was the lynchman, kingpin, that dude. Ken Starr had some involvement in this and all that. And of course, Art Briles' attorney came out with a statement today that his client has been completely exonerated by the NCAA, and this should clear the way from him to be able to coach in college football again.
So that whole situation was a hot mess. The fact that Art Briles was, I don't think it's an exoneration. I think it's the NCAA doing what the NCAA does. Not nearly enough when they should, like nothing, and then too much on things that they shouldn't be involved with. So,
Kim, they can find a way to put Prairie View on probation. They can find a way to put Jackson State on probation. They can find a way to put FAMU on probation.
Texas Southern.
But they can't find a way to find a rule violation when a member-associated school doesn't properly report sexual assault.
And they're not saying that they didn't properly report it. They're saying exactly what you did. Failed to report allegations of sexual and interpersonal violence on campus. So you're saying they failed to report it, but they could not conclude that Baylor violated NCAA rules when they did this. Well, if that's not a violation of NCAA rules, you need some new rules. You need some new rules.
You need new rules.
You need
if
new
that's
rules.
not a violation of the rules.
Right.
And if you can't see a violation of that, but you going horse over some improper recruiting, you're the wrong organization to be governing all of this. Mark Emmert, man, how many more chances is this guy going to get to prove that he don't know what he's doing?
Well, it's things like this, AJ, that are the reason, or make up the reasons why the NCAA at some point will not be a viable entity, right? You're starting to see the cracks with Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC. So now other schools are scrambling and saying, okay, so we need to all be in a super conference. Because if you're all in super conferences, what do we need them for?
Right.
I mean, it's not going to be immediate, but you can't govern yourselves. What do we need for you? You couldn't figure out what to do during COVID. The schools had to take care of themselves. You as a governing body, you don't govern. Why do we need you?
Name, image, and likeness. They were a day late and a whole bunch of dollars short. Several states had already put legislation in place before the NCAA came up with its own rules on how to govern its student athletes at its member institutions. You know what? Kim White Davis, Chalk Talk Sports, joining me on Winning Wednesday. I said this to a couple of our colleagues. I said, I want to see Texas, Oklahoma, even Clemson and Florida State go to the SEC and develop a mega conference, super mega conference, because they will be the ones that tell the NCAA to go take a hike. Now, I'm going to hate it the day after they do it, but I want them to do it to get rid of the NCAA because they're not viable whatsoever.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen. I think when you have the member institutions that have to step in and do the heavy lifting, what are you there for again?
Right.
You know, I think it's a matter of time, actually.
Yeah. Kim White Davis joining us here on Winning Wednesday. Did they put Michigan State on any kind of probation with the Larry Nassar thing?
I don't know. Let me
I don't
look.
think they did.
I don't think they did.
I know they haven't punished Kansas yet. I know they haven't punished Arizona yet. I know they didn't get after Coach K over at Duke and North Carolina with the fake class for decades. But this is the governing body for infractions and violations against NCAA rules and policies.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. I'm just checking to see. I don't think they did. They cleared Michigan State of any violations stemming from how it has handled sexual allegations, including those against disgraced former sports doctor Larry Nassar, who was sentenced to 40 years in prison for sexually assaulting
I'm done.
clients. So, yeah, no.
I'm done. I'm done. You can go and turn the oven off on me. I'm done.
Yeah, they didn't do it, but the penal system has him. So
I understand, but my point, these are your schools. This happened on your campus. This happened under your watch, and I will see nothing wrong.
Nah, no violations on how it was handled.
Yeah.
Carry on. Nothing to see here.
Yep. Let's talk about something more meaningful. Out at training camp today, we saw Deshaun Watson. He was there, was going through the quarterback drills, and that's pretty much what he's done since he's been back. He's gone through the drills. Not a whole lot on the team drills, and we heard yesterday that Nick Caserio said he will not be traveling with the team Saturday to go up to Green Bay. What are your thoughts on what you've seen so far, how they're handling Deshaun, and where he plays in their long-term plans, according to Kim Y. Davis?
So I had somebody stop me after practice today and say, hey, you said something earlier in the year, and I just wanted to ask you about it. You said that you didn't think the Texans wanted Deshaun even before all this stuff happened. I said, yeah, and I don't. I don't have that from anything that they've said. I just went on how they move. So I say that to say I don't think anything's changed other than they definitely don't want him now. You know, this is a team that has leadership that is very much of the evangelical place, you know. And you would say, well, you know, this is a gospel radio station. Yeah, but it's not all the same, right? It's not all the same. And so the way that they are running the organization, the things that matter, we know that Jack Easterby has a lot of input and a lot of say. And I cannot imagine that Jack Easterby, in all of his, glory, would be able to endorse Deshaun Watson as being a part of his team after all the things have become public that I maintain that they were not so shocked by. In terms of how they're handling it, Deshaun is showing up to work. Deshaun is doing exactly what I thought he would do. I thought they would use him, if they put him on the field. I thought maybe they won't even put him on the field because they could have. I asked someone within the organization, does he have to be on the field? Can the two sides, the Texans and Deshaun's representatives, agree to some other arrangement? And they said, we could agree to do whatever the two sides want.
Okay.
If they find him, those fines can't be reversed. So that was the thing that was kind of hanging people up at the beginning. In the CBA as it's written now, you can't reverse the fines if you levy them, but you could do something different where you don't have to fine him. You could say maybe he won't be here, he'll be in the locker room or whatever. So they decided to have him on the field. And basically what is just kind of a farce. It's insulting to tell the fans, and it's not even about the media, but to act as though Deshaun Watson would be doing more if he had been involved in OTAs. You're just trying to see how he goes day by day. That's disingenuous,
right?
Because Deshaun Watson blindfolded is the best player out there. So
right,
so he's doing the drills that they put him in. Neither side wants him to be injured, to take a chance on him getting injured, because ultimately they're going to move him.
Right.
They're going to move him, but this whole not even so much, AJ, the legal process, which understandably is delayed just because of COVID and being able to get into court. But what is the commissioner's office doing? That's really the holdup. What is he doing, and why hasn't he made any sort of decision about the fate of Deshaun? I mean, this has been going on since in the spring.
Right.
And so now I think it's just hurry up and wait, I guess. But I think it's pretty clear that Deshaun Watson, when he does play football again, it will be for another team.
Yeah. Kim, I want to kind of dig into that a little bit because you just answered a couple of questions for me. Let me take a quick break. We're going to come back. Kim Y. Davis joining us here on the lunch break. If you got questions, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, or text me 832-403-5005. We'll try and get your questions answered right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Into Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire, located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211.
Grab my roster.
832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio station in one.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM at KYOKradio.org.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Jonathan McReynolds, and I'm glad that you made room for the legendary KYOK, The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live on KYOKradio.org, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Got to say again, congratulations to Larry Scott, Denise Scott, Natasha Marie, and others. They celebrated 1 year on the Not So Christian and Me Show here on the legendary KYOK. Congratulations to them. Also opened up their new TV studio right here in the building. So I wish them very
congratulations.
Yeah, I know. And that big stuff, I like that. I like to see people winning on Winning Wednesday. You see what I did there?
I see what you did there.
And I got the winner right there, Kim White Davis. She's been doing sports here in this area since she was 2 years old. We appreciate her making time out of her busy schedule. I saw her earlier at training camp. Asked her, when you coming back on? She said, I can do today, but, give me a chance to get beautiful and fabulous.
No, I had to just, I didn't change from camp, but I had to spruce up a little because, it's hot, right?
Oh, you know what? And it gets hot out there quick. There's one temp, and then there's that feel-like temp. That's the one that matters.
Yeah, it's the feel-like temp.
Before the break, you answered something that I kind of alluded to yesterday. We know that they have the commissioner's exempt list. That's where Commissioner Roger Goodell can put a player on that list. I think they still get paid, but they are withheld from playing, participating, all that. Does the team have an exempt list that they can turn a player around? I guess, there's, like you said, they're not being fined. They're still getting their salary, but the team and the player have decided that it's in the best interest of them not to be there.
So not necessarily officially.
Okay.
The NFL, the commissioner has an exempt list and they have these guidelines, but really he has a whole lot of discretion in terms of what he can do. And so while there's not something that's necessarily called a team's exempt list, they could. That's what I got some clarification before the start of training camp on the first day of testing, actually asking about that. Like what could happen, and was told by the team, well, we could work something out. It's up to us if we wanted to work something out with his representatives about how this works, how this looks. So in essence, they could do something. And they don't have to have him out on the field. And I guess, he said, well, make him earn his money. Is he really earning his money? The money's guaranteed he's going to get paid. But, he's not competing in any 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 drills. He's doing individual drills. He's doing the stretching. He's showing up. He's there. He's doing his part. But it's not that they're saying, nothing I see says they're trying to put him in and then he is refusing. That's not what's happening. Yeah. And of course, they don't want to talk about it because we got to just see how he improves. At least Nick Caserio is not still saying that. And now David Culley has at least stopped saying that. Yeah. He's just saying, nothing's changed. It's day by day. So that's better than we'll just see and it'll determine how many reps he gets. Don't say that. Yeah. And David Culley, let me just say this. I don't even really blame him. He's been put in a very kind of a no-win situation when it comes to that. So I know that it's not his decision about what happens with Deshaun. Let's be very clear.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think I was not at all surprised that Deshaun is not traveling to Green Bay. Why would he? You're not going to put him on the field. Why would you take him to Green Bay?
Yeah.
He's not gonna get any reps. He's not even getting any reps in 11 on 11 drills here. So just stop.
Yeah. Kenway Davis, Chalk Talk Sports. Let's move him aside for a second. Who in your mind, just from what you've seen so far, who's QB1 first week in September?
It's Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
Close, is it?
Yeah, it's not even close. He's QB1. And I tell you, one of the things that's been interesting talking about the offense, and Coach Culley talked briefly about the offensive line today, is to see them with Laramie Tunsil and Titus Howard both line up on the left side.
On the left side. I saw that, and I'm like, that's what it should have been all along. Lock down
I like that.
And make them stop you on that side. You can figure out the other side. But that's a formidable side of the line.
Yeah, it is a formidable side of the line. So, yeah, it'll be Tyrod Taylor. Davis will, he hasn't looked great, but he's a rookie. And I just think it's about getting a whole lot of reps, right? Yeah. He's just got to get a lot of reps to see if these things that he struggled with, which are what happens when you come from college to the pros, it's the speed of the game. You hear rookies talk about it all the time. He's late on everything.
Yep.
And maybe it's just a matter of him getting more reps to see if he can take that step where he can not be late, where he can make that second read more quickly. I think it's just a matter of time will tell.
Yeah.
And the third guy, they're going to have to go out and get him a veteran backup, I think. I just think they are. I don't know why they didn't try to sign RG3. Right, he's now going to do broadcast. He's going to the TV booth for ESPN, but he was available. Why wouldn't you bring him in? And quite frankly, he may have been able to compete for the starting job, right? Yeah. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Camp Casario.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the Patriot way. That's what happens when you keep getting people from the same organization. You're going to keep getting the same thing. So, Let me ask you about the running game. One of the things I noticed the other day at training camp, I'm not in any way trying to justify the trade of David Johnson and DeAndre Hopkins, but David Johnson looked like he was hitting holes a lot better, a lot faster, very decisive. He looks like RB1. What's going on with Lindsey and Mark Ingram?
So I've liked Lindsey. I've liked what I've seen from him. They got 1,000 running backs in camp. Let's just, they got a whole bunch of running backs.
Yeah.
I say that. I think they may have 8. I was trying to look quickly to see how many they have. They have a lot. So I've liked what I've seen from Lindsey. I like Philip Lindsey a lot. He and Mark Ingram is just a vet that knows what he's doing. I'm guessing they'll carry 4. I don't know yet how they're going to construct this team and this roster, but and you bring in a lot of running backs just so that you can have more bodies to run at people. One of the things that Coach Culley says all the time is this is training camp. And this is what we do. It's competition, and there's nothing decided, and no position is a given, and it doesn't matter if you're a Pro Bowler. And I mean, okay, I get it. It's about competition, but really, is Laramie Tunsil really fighting for a position to start at left tackle? That's not the truth.
Let's just say this: he better not be.
He better not be.
Right.
But so I think it's interesting. I mean, Kiki Kuti, we saw him today. He's looked good, but he's looked good even late last year after the last guy left. You got guys like Nico Collins and the tight ends look pretty good. I mean, so they look good individually. I'm not trying to give any false hope that this is going to be a very good team. I think that they'll compete, and I think maybe, was it you who said they're going to surprise some people? Did you tell me that?
I didn't say that.
Okay, so somebody else did.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got them as the second worst team in the NFL, right above the Detroit Lions. One of those two teams is going to battle for the worst,
the number 1 pick. Yeah, I definitely see them being among the top 5 teams in terms of draft picks in 2022.
I agree.
I've heard some other guys say top 10. I don't see that. And it's not about them being looking like an expansion team. It's just that they're just not going to be real good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people confuse volume with quality. And
Right.
Nick Caserio made a bunch of moves. We
Right.
don't know yet if those were quality moves.
Right. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to throw this out. It may sound extreme. Do you think it would make sense to move a guy like Laramie Tunsil, because you're not going to be very good, and get something for him for when you are good? Or do you think you should just keep him? I mean, they're not going to do it, but is that a move that if you had a chance, would you make that move?
It would depend on where we were, if that made us next step better. And I'm not talking about from the cellar to the basement. I'm talking about from the middle of the pack to some type of contention. I wouldn't be opposed to making that move. I mean,
well, I guess for me, if this is a team that's in total rebuild mode, and they are,
all right, I got you.
It's a youth movement here.
Yep.
You've got a lot invested at that position. Your quarterback situation, I mean, I like Tyrod Taylor, but he's not gonna take you to the promised land.
Okay.
Right. And you're probably not gonna get there next year either.
Okay, agreed.
So
what would you get back for a Laramie?
I don't know. I mean, could you get one of those draft picks you gave up? One of those ones? You gave up 2 number ones for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know. It's a thought. I said it to somebody yesterday who looked at me like I had feathers coming out of my, head.
No. I think it's a real good question. I would try to get both my number ones back, because to me, he is a top flight left tackle. I mean, to me.
Right. And you could have had Dwayne Brown, but that's a whole nother show.
That's it. We won't.
Because he's still competing at a high level. I would tell you though that, I mean, I've been a long follower of Lovie Smith. I like what his defense does. This defense was so bad last year.
Oh my God.
And they've switched obviously to, they've gone from a 3-4 to a 4-3, which is interesting. Today after practice, we got a chance to talk to Roy Lopez, who I like what I've seen from him so far, right? You could tell that he was a wrestler at one point. He's grabbing people, he's gritty, he plays hard. And he said after practice today, he said, I think everybody who's going to play football, especially if you're going to be on the line, should wrestle, because it teaches you things about yourself, right? And then, of course, the strength and all that you have. I like him. Here's somebody I'm kind of watching on the defensive line. It's Whitney Merciless.
Yeah.
So, and I like Whitney Merciless a lot as a person.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't know. He obviously looks better than last year, because last year he would even tell you was probably his worst performance.
Okay. All right.
I think he's a player from just what I see that is fair to say is kind of on the bubble.
I agree with you. And that's why
I was making this team.
You were going to go. Love him as a person. Love him as a in-studio guest or he's great for that kind of stuff.
For the community, all that. But I just don't know that he – and, one of the things they ask us not to read too much into is what teams – guys practice with, and maybe we're not supposed to talk about that, so I don't want to say.
I was going to say that's under one of those rules.
One of those rules where don't talk about it, so I'm not going to talk about it specifically.
Don't get in trouble with me.
I don't want to lose my credentials, but I will tell you that just from what I see, it would. I think from what I've witnessed, and not from what anyone said, that he could be on the bubble.
Let me say this: we got Kim Davis joining us, Chalk Talk Sports. He was definitely a guy that benefited from Jadeveon and JJ and good linebacker play. He benefited from all of that. Taking any one of those away changed things for him. Taking all that away definitely changed stuff for him. And that being said, we talked about Laramie Tunsil. How much more do you invest in Whitney Merciless given what you have right now and where you ultimately are, and that's in a full-blown rebuild?
So Whitney they redid his deal. He's on a 1-year deal, so he's a free agent after this season.
Okay.
And he's been in the league, 10 years?
Yeah.
Does he still play? I heard some guys, and I didn't hear this from him, but I heard some of the media folks saying, "Oh yeah, this is going to be his last year." And I don't know if he said that to anybody or what, but I guess it depends, and I have to look and see on what his cap hit is.
Yeah, I got you.
But maybe is he a third down back? You bring him in to rush the passer, because I don't think you're really going to expect him on the line to really be a run stopper.
Yeah, and I think that was a misuse of him in the first place. And I'm interested to see what Lovie Smith can get out of him. I mean, again, Anthony Weaver, great dude, good guy, worked his way up, what have you. He was in over his head last year. Yeah. Lovie Smith knows defense like you and I know breathing. So Lovie Smith, if Lovie can't get performance out of Whitney Mercilus, then for me, it's time to move on from Whitney Mercilus. To me, just to me.
Yeah, well, we'll see. He signed a 4-year deal extension in December of 2018.
Okay.
Which was of December of 2019.
Okay.
And that contract was worth $54 million in new money, 18 guaranteed, full at signing, and he received a $7.5 million signing bonus. Along with he had a guarantee last year, and he had a guarantee this year. But in March of this year, they converted $6 million of his base salary to signing bonus. And the move saved him $4 million on the cap, because I think he would have been a $10 million cap hit. So instead of being a $10 million cap hit, he became a $6 million cap hit. So I don't know. It depends on what. I can't really get a grasp. Nick Caserio has made a lot of moves, but it's been quantity. I mean, he's brought in some. There have been some things that are good. There've been some rookies. You go, okay. You're a little surprised that he didn't go defense higher, because they didn't have, of course, a 1 or 2 because they gave him away. Yeah. But there's some players that have come in. That we've mentioned that could definitely be contributors. So we'll see. There's one of the people that I've liked is the player Jordan Jenkins. Mm-hmm. I got to look at the numbers because they don't have the names. So Jordan Jenkins is the defensive lineman, played at Georgia. He's a free agent, played with the Jets last year. He's looked good. Yeah, he's looked good on the line. So.
Yeah. Kim, we got to take a quick break. I asked a question. It's more about like a Dak Prescott kind of person. Josh Allen. I'm going to ask you the question when we come back. Get your thoughts on it. We got Kim Davis joining us here on the show. We'll be right back right after this Winning Wednesday on the lunch break.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
This is Michael Harris, Houston's top jock, and you're listening to the Sports Encyclopedia, the living Sports Encyclopedia, AJ Jones on the lunch break here on KYOK.
Michael Harris, man, I got to send you a check, bro. I got to send you a check. I didn't expect all that, Michael. So thank you, man. I know it's Sports Encyclopedia, but that's Kim White Davis and Ralph Cooper and folks like that. But anyway, Kim, are you one of those Hard Knocks people?
I missed the first episode. I will try to tune in. I'll probably tune in and catch some of it. When it first came out, I was, but
You and me.
I probably will.
Yeah, you and me about the same. It was very interesting when it first came out. Now it's just redundant.
Right.
Dak Prescott was animated about sitting out and not getting reps. And he was like, I'll tell you when I'm injured or when I'm sore, or that I don't need y'all holding me out, and use some colorful language.
Okay.
And it made several people in our business say that Dak is feeling the pressure of having to justify making $75 million this season. I don't think that's Dak's motivation. I don't think Dak has ever been the money comes first guy. Dak banked on himself. Dak gambled on himself, and he got his money. But Dak has always been the guy, I just want to go out there and play and show y'all with my play what I can do. And he doesn't do a whole lot of talking and all that kind of stuff. So are there guys out there? Josh Allen's going to get $100 million in a year when his stuff kicks in. Aren't there guys out there that feel like my play is going to speak all I need to say it'll justify my contract. It'll justify who I am, what I can do. Your thoughts?
I absolutely agree with you. And we have to keep this in mind. Remember, Dak Prescott is a guy who played on that rookie contract.
Yeah.
Till it was up, right? I mean, he played, and so the flip side of that was he had played far above what he was getting made at $2 million. He was playing like a quarterback that should have been making, top 5, at least top 10 money. Right. So he still went out, didn't complain, and played every week. I don't see any reason why we should think he's now become a different person now that they paid him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of ludicrous. He got hurt last year, missed most of the season. He's ready to get back on the field. I mean, you got to think about these guys that are true competitors and that want to compete. And I want to play. And I haven't played in all this time. So holding me out is not helpful for me doing what I do. Let me play. That's how I take it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100. If they had said something else, maybe. But Dak has never been the money guy. Josh Allen was like, listen, the money's going to take care of itself. We were this close to a Super Bowl. I'm trying to get back there.
Right.
And it's like, oh, no, he's got to justify this $100 million.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. That's your ratings and your clicks and I agree with you. Some of these guys want to accomplish the highest possible achievement in their sport and let that speak for everything else.
Well, you don't get to this level, right, to the pinnacle of playing football competitively in this country without a whole lot of talent, a whole lot of discipline and drive, competition. I mean, there are a lot of really good players that, in college that don't make it, right? We talk about less than 3% make it,
right?
Less than 1% of those last longer than 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
So I think these guys are like, no, I got the contract now. What I've been doing is why I got the contract, and that is what I played through when I'm here. Now I just want to compete. And I say that when I look at Deshaun Watson, I'm like, man, this has got to be so hard for him. Whatever you think about the legal, the civil issues and all that stuff, he loves the game.
Right.
And to not be able to really compete must be really hard for him.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't want to be on this team, it's got to be difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that, Kim Y. Davis joining us here on the show, about to wrap it up. Speaking of that, I asked you out at camp today about the rumors that we're hearing Jalen Hurts coming to Texans, Deshaun going to the Eagles, and the Texans wanting 3 first-round picks. Might not get a quarterback like a Jalen Hurts plus 3 number ones.
Correct.
What do you think is reasonable, and what would you like to see here in Houston? We've heard Tua Tagovailoa, we've heard Jalen Hurts, and for some reason Deshaun has an interest in Denver, so that would be what's his name? Mock, I think is his name.
Right. So is Philadelphia one of the teams Deshaun would go to? Because he has a no trade clause.
Yeah, I think Philadelphia.
See, I wasn't real sure. I know Miami, I knew Denver were teams, and it used to be North Carolina. I wasn't really sure about the Philadelphia piece. I just don't know. I think if they could get a Jalen Hurts and 3 draft picks, that'd be amazing. I think that what I hear from some sources around the league is that they think the Texans are asking too much for Deshaun.
Yeah.
With the current state of affairs. So, and then there's some who say they're calling the Texans, but the Texans aren't taking any calls. So I don't really know.
That's what my sources are telling me, and I'm trying to figure that out.
Right, because I don't know why if you think you wait till everything's settled and resolved, then you're going to get more from it than you would get from now. I don't know. And so there's some question like, well, it depends on his availability. Well, right now he's available.
Right.
Because the commissioner hasn't said otherwise. And
The
is that the
commissioner said
thing?
just the opposite. He's available to fully participate in everything.
Right. So are you saying we don't want to make a move, being another team that, we bring him in and then the commissioner decides to put him on the exempt list? Because as we know it right now, unless there's a settlement in the works, these cases don't even hit the docket until February of 2022 if it doesn't get delayed.
Yeah.
Because the courts are so backed up. So
Right.
I don't know.
So in essence, he could play this full season and not miss a game,
Right.
Barring injury or whatever, but could be, penalized in some fashion next season.
Right. Or at some point, the commissioner could step in and say, we're going to put him on the exempt list.
Right.
Because our investigation has shown something that says it's warranted.
Right.
See, that's the wild card.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tim Y. Davis, Chalk Talk Sports. Drew Lock is the quarterback I was thinking about from Denver.
Yeah.
And Keith Hennig said, don't forget about Chucky. He and the Raiders have a high interest in Deshaun, which would mean Derek Carr.
They're scared. Well, this group may not be. The last group would be like, well, we can't bring in a car. But they're so far removed from David.
Yeah.
Perhaps they could or would. So,
Well, and what I heard and my sources was the family, dad and the family were the problem with David Carr and the organization, not so much the player, but that dad I heard was a nightmare.
Well, but so the organization loved them from David Carr. Mr. McNair was really a David Carr fan. We think back to the David Carr era, even when they knew that David was not going to be a part of this football team, they kept him on the roster past the date. I think back then it was March the 8th, where if he's on the roster then, he got an $8 million roster bonus. And Mr. McNair allowed him to be on the roster until after that. They knew they were going to move on from him. And so he got that money. He was he's what they loved, right?
Yeah.
He was the All-American.
Yep.
He was a guy.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. I got you. One thing I want to say before we go, man, how tough of a situation for Stephen Silas and David Culley to come into in their very first head coaching jobs. I was going to add Dusty Baker into that because of the mess he had to come and clean up with the Astros, but Dusty is Dusty.
And Dusty has some talent.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a mess.
Yeah.
They do that. They bring us in to clean the mess up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But seriously, how do you feel about Stephen Silas and David Culley and the hand that they've been dealt?
So I guess I probably feel worse for Stephen Silas, because when Stephen Silas came here, you thought you were going to be coaching a team that had two MVPs on it.
Right.
And then you got here and you had one that left pretty quickly, and then the other one that pouted and showed up at camp about 40 pounds overweight and was pouting and basically just said, these guys suck, I'm better than them, I can't play here. You know what I mean? And so you instantly became a lottery team, right? You went from being a playoff team to a lottery team. The general manager left. The team president left. And so I would say Stephen Silas, but here's the benefit for Stephen Silas. My early impressions are good about Rafael Stone.
Okay.
I don't know him personally. I mean, I just look at the moves he's made, and I can't complain about what I've seen from him. He got a haul in the James Harden deal when everybody knew James wanted out.
Yep.
And so I'm like, okay, I like Jalen Green. I've been watching the summer league. The big kid from Turkey doesn't really play any defense, but he's great offensively. And the kid from Spain is supposedly good defensively. And then the Christopher kid out of Arizona State. So they got they did good in this draft. And then they just picked up, they re-signed him Waba. Don't forget, they still have Christian Wood.
Yep.
KJ. Yep. They've got some players.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I guess it's just a matter of patience to see what this team is going to be. And
It's I mean, they're young. They
Yeah.
will be competitive and fun to watch. They're not going to be there yet. They
Yeah.
won't be a lottery team this year because those guys last year played hard.
Yeah, they
They
did.
just were limited. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that a lot of that has to do with coaching. If you can bring in all these young players and get them to compete at that level
Yeah.
when you are at the bottom of the league,
Yeah.
that's some coaching.
Kim Davis, Chalk Talk Sports. A quick update on the Astros. 1-1 in the bottom of the second inning. Astros and Rockies got started at 1:10. Again, it's 1-1 in the bottom of the second. Kim, we got to get ready to wrap it up. Time sure flies when you're having fun with one of the best in the business.
Why, thank you. It's been fun. I got to ask you this. Are you worried about the Astros like a lot of people in this market are? Are you nervous because they dropped to just only a 2-game lead in the American League West?
Yeah, no. It's way still too early.
Yeah,
And
50
Astros,
games.
Astros have shown that they know how to finish strong under Dusty. So no, I'm not worried about the Astros. I'm not worried about the Rockets or the Texans. I think they're going to be what we think that they're going to be.
Yeah.
My biggest concern is the leadership. Why are all those folks leaving under Tillman Fertitta? Is he trying to do too much hands-on stuff and doesn't know what he's doing? So those that do are getting out. And then the same thing with the Texans. What's going to happen with this administration? If it's Jack Easterby run, they're going to be in trouble. If it's Nick Caserio run, because they were calling it Camp Caserio, that's not how you want your first camp to be. You want the
he should.
players.
Even if the radio guys did that, if that was even if that was a Mark Vandermeer thing, he should have said, "Nah, guys, we're not going to do this."
Yep. So those are my concerns, but the Astros, no, not at all.
Yeah, I'm with you, as usual.
Yeah. Tell everybody where they can find you, follow. Anything you're working on that you want to share with us?
Well, I'm on my shows every Tuesday at 11. You can follow me on Twitter. It's on the screen at Kim White Davis. And I am going to be doing some other things on Instagram, getting that in the mix. But my show is live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn every week. And I might add an additional day during football season, but we'll see how that works out. So stay tuned.
All right. Yeah, y'all going to see her out there covering some of those SWAC games as well. So, Kim,
if I can get credentials.
Yeah, you're going to get them. You're going to get them. Trust me. Yeah. No, really. Love you, Kim. Thank you for making yourself available today on short notice. And we'll see you back out there at training camp.
All right. Thank you. See you soon.
All right, y'all. Kim White Davis. Y'all be sure and follow her. Got a great show, Chalk Talk. I want y'all to check it out. You will definitely be glad you did. Again, let's wish a happy birthday to David Grubb, celebrating his birthday. He'll be on the air 4 to 6 over at 103.7 The Game in Lafayette, Louisiana. It's crunch time with David Grubb. Be sure and call him over there and wish him happy birthday on the show. David Grubb doing great work over there, and we got to give him a lot of love. All right, I got to get out of the way. Sybil Wilkes and What You Need to Know coming up, and then, of course, Donnie McClurkin and the Donnie McClurkin Show. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Wear your mask where you're supposed to. Wash your hands like you're supposed to. Consider getting vaccinated. And whatever you do, when you see racism and or bullying, kill it. Not the person or the people, but the racism and the bullying. Shut it down. All right? All right, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. Throwback Thursday right here on the lunch break.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. As the battle for voting rights continues on Capitol Hill, Georgia Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock is introducing his own bill to combat a GOP takeover of Georgia elections. The Preventing Election Subversion Act of 2021 puts some procedural safeguards in place. It would prevent local officials from being removed for partisan reasons and makes it a felony to harass or intimidate election workers in order to interfere with their official duties. Florida school superintendents who require masks for their students without giving them a way to opt out could have their salaries withheld. That from Governor Ron DeSantis' office Monday. Last week, the Republican governor barred local school districts from requiring students to wear masks. At least one Florida school district, Leon County, which includes the state capital, Tallahassee, will defy the governor's orders and make them mandatory when classes begin Wednesday. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
Are you ready?
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Again, as always, I appreciate every single thing y'all do and all the ways y'all do it. Definitely let's not do this. Let's do this. I do. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. But have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow for Throwback Thursday.